Because your TBR shelf can never be too full, let's talk about the top 5 books that I read in the month of February. And in case you need a reminder, these are my top 5 anticipated books that I thought were going to be 5-star reads in the month of February. I had no 5-star reads, but let's see if any of these did make my top 5 books. Let's start with my number 5 book, which is Parents' Weekend by Alex Finlay. This is a story of some kids who go to college and they're all in this group together where they're working on a project. And their parents come to town for Parents' Weekend, and those kids disappear. It was kind of a fun ride. I didn't mind the book at all. I know some people didn't like it, but I kind of did. In my 4th place position, I have A Beauty Queen's Guide to Murder and Mayhem by Kristen Bird. And this is the story of a girl who's kind of forced into doing a beauty pageant. And when she's there, the owner of the pageant is found dead. And so she takes it upon herself to try to figure out who's responsible for this. This is the start of a new series. And let me tell you, when I finished, I immediately started looking up when the next book was coming out because I really loved this book more than I thought I would. My number 3 position was Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. Listen, I love this series so much, which is why it probably ranked higher. But as a book, I did not really like it as much. I felt it was too long, even though it was shorter than the other books. I had so many questions, so many plot holes, but I still really enjoyed it, which tells you how bad of a reading month I really did have in February. In my number 2 position, I have Carving Shadows into Gold by Brigid Kemmerer. This book also one of my favorite authors, but it's the second book in a series, and it's definitely a transition book. I thought that I loved reading about 2 of the characters, but the third character's point of view was just not as enjoyable as the other 2. I really am looking forward to the third one because I think that is really where it's going to be better. And shockingly, in my number 1 position, topping 2 of my favorite, most anticipated books and series that I read is Pomona Afton Can So Solve a Murder by Bellamy Rose. My gosh, this book was so much fun. I could not stop reading it. And I really thought that I wouldn't like the main character because she's kind of an heiress, but then she gets disinherited when her grandmother dies. And so she has to figure out who may have killed her grandmother so she can get her inheritance back. And I really thought she was going to be unlikable throughout the entire book, but her arc was just so great, and I really loved a lot of the characters in here. I liked what they had to do, all of it. The twist even was so good. I cannot wait. I hope this is part of a series. I cannot wait for the next one if it is. But what did you guys read in the month of February, and what do you think I should read?